Directions. This is, I'm repeating the first question, the same one like at the very beginning of the previous class. How many directions you know in the modern theory of firm? Okay, thank you very much. Which one? Technological and institutional. Which theories belong to technological? Neoclassical or managerial. Next one.
X-efficiency.
X-efficiency.
Evolutionary.
Evolutionary. Behaviorism or behavioral theory. What else? Okay, again, neoclassical or marginalism. Next one. Managerial or historically. Next one will be X-efficiency, managerial, evolutionary, behavioral. Anything else? X-efficiency means non-allocative. Okay. Institutional theory, institutional direction.
Property, agency, transaction.
Property rights, transaction costs, and agency. Okay. Thank you, guys. Let's start from the methodological basic for firm theory of firm. Okay. First of all, who could repeat the basic methodological statements of neoclassical theory? Basic principles. Ну, зато я знаю. Let's start with a nick. Ну вот ляпни что-нибудь для начала.
Basic is maximizing profit.
Maximization.
Maximization and low cost.
Low cost. What does it mean, low cost?
Уменьшить затраты, издержки.
To decreasing the cost.
Decreasing the cost, yes.
Why decided what does it mean maximization of the profit? Traditionally, maximization of profit is the option. Some company can to maximize profit. Some company can, for example, minimize the expenditures. But the basic principles lies in the field of the very strictly defined limitations. Which limitations about the behavioral basic of firm, the economics and managerial theory are the theories about the behavioral characteristics of the economic agents. For example, about consumer, company, about the markets, or the behavioral basic. Мы с вами много поведения. Okay, the first prompt for my side will be about what do you know about the rationality? Okay, how many people operate within the company, within the firm in neoclassical theory? It's a very important question. How many people operate in boundaries of company? Hmm? Try this.
I can support
Only one. And you are absolutely right. Only one. But how is it possible to organize the company by only one person? How we can explain that only one man could operate like a company? Do we think about the people within the company when we're thinking following the logics of the neoclassical theory?
This person do all the functions. Can the company get sale and reduce? Why not?
This
Self-employed people, so they can work on their own and do all the functions.
traditionally, for now, it's not possible to organize a company. But the neoclassical theory could describe the company like a big company, small company, the different scales of company, how it's possible to thinking about the different scales of company, but we're thinking about only one people, one man, one old lady. It's not meant.
Only one person takes the decisions in this new classical.
Liza, what do you think? Because your answer was pretty right,
So
semi-right.
I suppose this person just like it was. But by the way, I suppose that in Russia most of the company works by this way. So
Do you really think that many companies operate like the company consists only of one person?
um, now it's really really popular among the enterprise, like some banks.
My understanding of the reason why the neoclassical theory describes a company as being run by one person is because basically every business, every company, every enterprise is driven by the vision of one person at the first time before others come in to implement it. That's what I think is the reason why.
So maybe because each person can generate some products, some projects.
Очень хватало. Как вы представляете себе, что один человек генерировал продукт?
And it's about
Собрал
outsourcing.
ягоды, продал.
Yeah.
Because if neoclassical theory describe the behavior of a personnel within the company, when we're speaking about the firm or The firm makes a decision about the quantity of product or about the price of product. When we thinking the company makes a decision, what does it mean? Company makes a decision.
Group of people that who
It could be a group of people.
That could be just a general director or a manager.
The neoclassical theory doesn't describe us the behavior of the members of the company. For us, the company means a black box. This is the model of input, output. And the difference between the input and output, we can define the efficiency, technological efficiency. How we can operate with the resources and how many products we could produce. That's all. And the company, like only one personal of the making decision process, there is no difference between the group of managers, group of employees, the structure of the organization. There is no such type of definitions within the neoclassical theory. It's not about the inside life of the company. There is no words about the inside life, inside problems, agency problems, the conflict of interest within the companies. For example, organizational culture or behavioral problems, organizational behaviors, about the marketing, there is no words. It's just about the technological efficiency of company, that's all. And market behavior. But market behavior, it's very narrow defined. Masha, you were the leader during the discussion of the paper by Fritz Machlup. And please, try to memorize about what Fritz Machlup said about the field of using the neoclassical theory.
it is used to understand how the prices are set in the market.
It helps to predict the reaction.
Which type of reaction? Reaction on what? Price. Yes, this is the theory of price. How company could react in price, or, for example, some type of company could be a price seeker, others could be a price taker. Which company could be a price taker?
Probably the price takers are basically the big companies, the big ones. The ones who control the market share. I think.
Price taker. You know the several conditions of several structure of the market or industry. How many structures? Organizational structures, you know. Industrial structure. How many types of industrial structures you know? Guys?
Monopoly,
Monopoly. Yes, number one. Next one. Perfect competition.
perfect
Monopoly competition. Oligopoly. Okay. Typically 4 types. Okay. condition of price taker. Company like a price taker.
Perfect competition.
Perfect competition. Yes, thank you very much. Perfect competition creates the condition market for price takers only. Each company under the conditions of the perfect competition belongs to price taker. And what could you say about the demand curve? How we can describe the demand curve? Perfect competition. The main characteristics of demand curve is Diana. Demand.
It's the volume of goods that the consumer buys and price.
Okay. The demand curve shows us the difference between, no, not difference, but dependence between the price, U, demand curve, and the main characteristics. The same curve describes us the dependence between the price and the volume of the demand. But characteristics of the curve, which characteristic you know? Ну, сама по себе кривая – это зависимость между. А какие характеристики у этой зависимости вы знаете?
The price and quantity.
The quantity and price mean the two variables. Dependence between these variables could be described like the demand curve. And which characteristic of demand you know? Elasticity. Thank you very much, Daria. Elasticity. Who could describe what does it mean, elasticity, Daria? Maybe definition. The coefficient of elasticity shows force.
Shows us since
The lowest price.
Coefficient of elasticities could be delta Q, delta P, PQ, or other variant, delta Q, delta P, or PQ. This is the other variant. Точные и ответные, правда, дуговая эластичность. It doesn't matter. The dependence, but you know the absolute elasticity, absolute non-elasticity, and the coefficient, the area of the coefficient of elasticity equals to unit or 1. Okay, we should take the coefficient of elasticity by modulo. Why we need to take it by modulo? In any case, could be negative. Can we see the positive means of the coefficient of elasticity? Traditionally, it's negative because we can see the negative meaning of the tangent line of this curve. But can we see the positive tangent? How positive the decline.
Maybe one is the
Goods of Giffen's goods. Giffen's goods could be, but it's just under the questions, just under discussions of the existence of type of Giffen's goods. But, okay, let's go back to the traditional curve. What about the coefficient of elasticity in the perfect competition? We have, maybe you know. What about the meaning of the elasticity in the perfect competition? If company should be a price taker,
Less than one.
less than one, non-elastic, non-elastic.
Because you can set your own prices.
Let's think about the linear function of the demand. It could be, for example,
Yeah.
this one, this one, this one, this one. Окей. Вот, смотрите, сколько я наделала. Where the demand under the condition of perfect competition. D3, yes. This is the perfect competition. Absolute elastic demand. Price taker, the only one price exists for each company. Only one. And each company could be a price taker. It needs follow the price suited by market, suited by all set of firms. That's why each company could be a price taker. But what about the price seeker? Which company could be a price seeker? Monopoly. Of course, yes. But if it means that for monopoly we can find the absolute non-elastic demand. If it's really so, Егор.
Yes, or
Да ладно.
еще раз вопрос.
В состоянии монополии действительно спрос абсолютно неэластичен. What does it mean, price seeker? If it means that the elasticity, coefficient of elasticity equals to 0.
Almost zero, I think 0 is impossible.
It's impossible, but no, it's equals to 0 for absolute. Here the non-elastic means D2. The coefficient equals to 0 because the delta Q equals to 0. If the monopoly equals to the absolutely non-elastic demand. type of commodities could be under the non-elastic, absolutely non-elastic demand?
Electricity.
Секс, наркотики,
Товары, что необходимость.
секс, наркотики, рок-н-ролл. Sex, drugs, and rock and roll. Drugs, of course, yes, it's absolutely non-elastic for people dependent of drugs. But it's like theoretical definition. Absolutely elastic, absolutely non-elastic demand. It's theoretical abstraction. It's not in real life existing this situation, but theoretical abstraction. But what about the monopoly type of demand? It could be non-elastic, but not absolutely. For example, it could be, it looks like D1, non-elastic, coefficient by modular D1 belongs to coefficient less than 1 but bigger than 0. Non-elastic but not absolutely. Okay, what about D5? Which type of industrial structure? D5. Coefficient, what the interval about the coefficient? More than 1 by modulo, less than 1, equals to 1. Which curve has the coefficient equals to 1?
Loss.
Oh. Yeah, no, this really, here coefficient, this really belongs to coefficient plus D5 coefficient more than 1 by modular because it's very elastic and it belongs to which type of industrial structure? Monopolistic competition. Monopolistic competition. D5 could be described in monopolistic competition because what does it mean, monopolistic competition? How many companies operate? Many. More than, at least more than one means duopolia, 2 for example. No.
5 or 7.
More than 8 or 10. How many could be? 25, 2000, 33, and maybe more. What the example of monopolistic competition?
Banking.
RGD means monopoly. Monopoly. Russian Railways means monopoly.
Banking.
Banks.
Grocery stores.
Grocery stores. Okay. Producers of our clothes, for example, gadgets, bags. There are a lot of examples of the products of the monopolistic competition. Okay, and what about the oligopolia How many? 5, 7, 3, 2, and 10. Okay, what's the main characteristic of oligopoly? You know?
High высокий доверие входа.
High barriers to enter to the market. Of course, yes, but it's not the unique characteristic, because for monopoly, the same situation. It would be the highest barriers. What about the unique characteristic of oligopoly?
Difficult to exit.
It could be for monopoly.
There are no substitutes. I think no substitutes. No. Okay, that's monopoly. Close substitutes.
There are few companies operate the market, and it leads to everyone knows everyone, and interdependency in the behavioral type of company. They looks on behavior of each companies, and that's why they should make a decision, take into account the decision of others.
Yeah, even price.
That's why we can see the tendency for making what? What are they trying to organize?
Unities and cartels.
Cartels, yes. They try to make an agreement between each other for making a most effective price for them. They are trying to operate like one company to agree about the price level. And do you know about this type of demand curve within the oligopoly? UP why such type of the demand curve could be exist under the condition of oligopoly?
It's sum of the что-то сумма нескольких функций спроса.
Это да, действительно так. Так называемая ломаная кривая спроса, да? Вот почему она у нас ломаная? Broken curve.
Market saturation.
Why such type could be exist? Just only under the condition of oligopoly. It couldn't be exist under the monopoly and other type, but just what about this point? It looks like break point. If someone would like to increase the price, for example, some company would like to increase. If company increase, others company, what they should do? Should they follow our company? For example, me, the leader of market, and I would like to increase the price. Should you follow me?
No.
Depends.
No, because it's not effective for you. Why?
Because others will not buy your product.
Because
Customers.
if you will stay on the previous level of price, it could be positive effect for you. My customers will follow you because my product it's not very prestigious now because the quality of my product is not changed but just only price.
Mm.
I could lose my customers, and here, if I would like to increase the price, the quantity will be decreased bigger than price increase. The percentage of decreasing will be bigger than the percentage of the increasing. That's why here the coefficient of elasticity more than 1. But here, coefficient of elasticity less than 1, but bigger than 0. Why here the vice versa situation? For example, I decided to decrease price. I try to be leader again. I would like to be a more attractive for the consumers. Do you follow me?
Yes.
Yes. Now yes. Because you shouldn't permit me to have a bigger share of market. You will follow me, and no one will be a winner in this situation. Maybe a little bit additional consumers we will have, but not numerous of the consumer. That's why the decreasing percentage of decreasing of the price will be bigger than percentage of increasing the quantity. I'm again not winner. You shouldn't permit me to make such type of кувырок через голову. That's why the preferable point will be this one. We are trying to stay on the position O. This is a stable situation. And which condition? We need to agree again about the new level of balance for changing the market situation. That's why our interdependence, this is the crucial characteristic of the behavior of the firm. Okay, guys, now this is the industrial type structures. And what about the characteristics? What about the main task of the firm? To maximize the total profit. Total profit could be defined like how we could define the total profit. Thank you very much. So today you are a leader. Okay, and what the main condition of maximizing the total profit? Who should know what the main condition of the maximizing total profit? Не настолько романтично сидит, не знаю.
Reducing production cost.
No. Q should be equals to Q with the star on the condition of ну какое условие максимизации прибыли? Фирма максимизирует прибыль при условии, что производит такой объем продукта, при котором
Полностью спрос удовлетворяет.
видите. Молчи, невиннее будешь. Скажите, господи, и это профессор Ужанская матерится как сапожник. Это еще не все, вы не слышали, как я разговариваю с 4-м курсом бакалавриата. Они отстали. быстро ходят под себя уже третье занятие. Пока мне это удается. Ну, просто у них слишком близко уже диплом. И все. Только это держит их. Уверяю вас. Which condition of maximizing total profit?
Marginal revenue will equals to marginal cost.
Marginal revenue should be equal marginal cost. Okay. Okay. Marginal revenue means this is the coefficient or ratio which shows us delta TR, delta Q, then delta Q equals to 1. Okay, marginal cost, delta T, delta Q, then the delta Q equals to 1. Okay, how we can find the marginal revenue? Within the differentiation of the function of revenue. Okay. And this is the limit. Это же определение производной. Производная функции совокупного дохода, совокупной издержек. How you could describe the function of the costs, total cost? How we can show the total cost Q, EC, fixed cost, variable cost, total cost, marginal cost. Егор, выбери для себя любую функцию и стартуй. Я даю тебе этот шанс. Да.
Что делать?
Рисовать.
Что рисовать?
Fixed cost, total cost, variable cost, marginal cost.
Я готов исполнять.
Рисуй, как-то же они выглядят.
Я не помню. Точнее, не знаю.
Фиксировано. Could you speak anything about the fixed cost?
Nothing.
How do you think we came with the examination by managerial economics?
I will try.
Without such type of knowledge, it's impossible. Okay. Okay.
Было легко.
Who could show us the easiest? Oh yes. Masha. The first step should be, this is the fixed cost. Okay. Variable.
They are variable from, they like base, but they should be like this.
Variable. Okay. Total. Thank you very much. Thank you. Fixed means fixed. Doesn't depend on quantity. That means we. But variable cost dependent on quantity, but the vice versa tendency. What about the graphs? Average variable cost, marginal cost, average total cost. average fixed cost. Who could show us? You can. Okay. Okay. Again. Start from the average fixed. It's easiest. Okay. But it's should like
Also schon möchte ich start. Like the
average
which
variable total cost, and what about marginal?
marginal
They should cross. Yeah, crossed in the points of minimum.
Yes, it's just not the minimum.
Thank you, brilliantly. Guys, а теперь поднимите руки, кто не знал, как это нарисовать. Okay. Should I really describe why the average fixed cost should? Okay. It's not for us very important now. Most important for us, this one. Okay. This is minimum. Minimum пересекается с точкой минимума. Okay, what about the characteristics of the variable cost? It depends on productivity of variable resource. For example, labor. Даша, ты хорошо киваешь. Чего ж ты говоришь, что ты не понимаешь? But the better will be here average cost. They could be closer and closer because the difference equals average fixed cost, because the average total cost equals to average variable plus average fixed, because fixed cost closer and closer to the zero, the difference between the average total and average variable would be less and less and less, never equals, but the difference close to zero at the end. Average total. Why the characteristics like the first stage of the curves? For the first stage, it declines, goes to the minimum, and after that increase. Why? Because the declining productivity of с самого начала у нас предельный продукт, предельная производительность факторов производства. Поначалу у нас что? Когда мы I'm trying to start in Russian, just after that I will repeat in English. Значит, с самого начала мы пытаемся наладить производство. На первых стадиях производства объемы производства невелики, но у нас с вами малый объем, например, труда приходится на большое количество станков, фиксированного фактора производства. И вот это малое количество работников не может обеспечивать всего технологического процесса. Производительность пока невелика, поэтому издержки на небольшой объем, при небольшом объеме производства, у нас же тут в начале, видите, вот так они идут, да? То есть издержки или себестоимость оказывается очень высокой. А потом постепенно мы выходим на технологический вот этот, заданный объем, да, вот этой, например, производственной линии какой-нибудь. И здесь производительность труда нарастает, а если производства уменьшаются, у них же обратная связь. Если производительность растет, издержки падают. Вот они у нас падают. Но постепенно мы продолжаем наращивать объемы производства все еще на тех же мощностях. А мощности-то заняты, мы нагнетаем народ, а станков уже не хватает, площадей не хватает. Поэтому отдача от одного дополнительного работника у нас начинает падать. Следовательно, издержки на дополнительную единицу продукции начинают расти. Поэтому у нас есть вот эта квадратичная so-called U-shape function, but inverse. U-shape function like an average variable, average total cost, because for the very beginning of the production scale, we started from the low productivity of variable resource. Just after the rise in the scale, the productivity of variable resource will be increasing, and there is the maximum, the minimum of our average cost equals to the maximum of productivity of the variable resource. But the scale is fixed. But we adding and adding the variable resource. So the productivity of variable resource will be declining because the fixed resource is in a deficit now. That's why the productivity of labor, like a variable resource, will be declining, and the cost is increasing. That's why we can see the inverse U-shape function. But productivity will not inverse U-shape function. And productivity inverse U-shape. Okay, that's why we will see such dependencies like an average variable of cost. But what about the marginal cost? It started on about the beginning of average variable and cross in a minimum, cross in a minimum. What does it mean? Before, what does it mean, the cross? The cross means equals. In this point, for example, A, or not, let's B. In point B, average variable cost equals to marginal cost, because crossed. The graph is crossed means equals. Here, for example, D, average total cost equals to MC. They cross again. What does it mean? Before, marginal less than the average. After, average less than the marginal. What does it mean? Marginal means cost for additional unit of good. Marginal means additional cost for additional unit. If here marginal less than average means before this point each next unit cost for the company less than previous. After this point, marginal less than average means each next unit cost for company bigger than previous one. Иначе вот до точки пересечения, I will repeat in Russian, до точки пересечения у нас предельные ниже средних. Это означает, каждая дополнительная единица, произведенная, обходится компания дешевле, чем предыдущая. Выгодно наращивает объем производства. Пересекаются опять дальше средние ниже, чем предельные. Каждая последующая дороже предыдущей, каждая последующая дороже предыдущей. невыгодно наращивать производство, либо выгодно до тех пор, пока предельные доходы выше предельных затрат. What does it mean? Before and after. If we should stop here, if this Q could be an optimal. No. Because for making the decision about the optimal quantity of product, we need to compare not the average cost and marginal cost. We need to compare marginal revenue and marginal cost. Because we need thinking not about the cost, we need to think about the profit. And profit means the difference between the revenue and the costs. We need to compare how much money we can get if we add additional unit of goods. If we produce additional unit, if we get more than the spent, if additional unit will add for us positive profit, we should increase the production. If additional unit could decrease our profit, for example, we spend for producing more, then we will get money from this selling this unit. That means we need to stop increasing the produce. То есть для того, чтобы решить, останавливаемся мы или не останавливаемся, производим мы больше или не производим, мы все-таки сравниваем между собой не издержки с издержками, но мы сравниваем издержки с выручкой. И если наращивание объемов производства, ну, например, допустим, если мы сюда посадим еще 30 человек, убудет ли от меня, если здесь будет сидеть еще 30 человек? Выгодно ли их сюда посадить? Конечно, да. Вот вас в таком объеме учить не выгодно. Ну, плохо это, потому что моя зарплата профессора делится на вот ваш объем. А представьте, делилось бы на 60 человек. Гораздо же проще было. А если сюда сажать 120 человек еще, хорошо ли это? Ну, это уже неэффективно, следовательно, вас опять надо будет поделить на 2 потока. И тогда уже 2 раза профессора надо оплатить, да? И вот тогда мы понимаем, а стоит ли набирать 120 человек? До каких пор стоит набирать? Наверное, до 100. А вот после 100 уже скажем нет, потому что поток делить на 2, и это уже невыгодно. Почему? Вот из этих соображений мы сравниваем, стоит ли нам дополнительные продавать места, потому что мы сравниваем выгоды и издержки. I try to describe the situation of marginal cost and marginal revenue, taking into account the example of the students and academic group, how we try to organize the study process. Okay, is it clear? Okay, now let's try to check your knowledge and okay, I will start the quiz here. Please try to test equation, second one. Neoclassic, okay. Ссылки. Сегодня 5, очень хорошо. Сейчас мы вам дадим время. Причем времени я вам дам let's remember the terminology of neoplastics. Yes, please. The quiz is started. You have only 5 questions, open-ended.
I have a problem, so I have password just on my home computer, so if I start changing it, so it will take a long time.
Даже не знаю, чем помочь. Здесь вы тоже его не вспомните, к сожалению.
Maybe you have a paper version.